obviously if I say what would you have done differently, you say yeah, we'll get an internship, get experience. But what exact approach do you think you would have been a better one to take at uni as opposed to like the way you did things? Looking back.
At uni, looking back, well, I'll say what I did. So like in my jobs over the summer, I had the first 2 years worth of jobs. I worked at the airport. I worked at Gatwick and Heathrow Airport.
Yeah.
Moving bags around. And then the third year, I did that internship with like a research internship.
Yeah.
But you know what? The reason I did all of those jobs is because it was easy and they were easy for me to get. So for me, I was a lazy student and I really couldn't be bothered to apply for all of the jobs and I was really lazy. And then I picked it up in fourth year when I wanted to apply for jobs and then I just started applying to lots of stuff. But I never had that push and drive to do it in third year or second year. I think it's generally accepted end of first year you're not going to get an internship, but second year onwards, maybe you might. But like, I was lazy, so I'd be a bit less lazy, apply for these things, see, because you might get them and you might not, that's fair enough, but if you don't try then you'll never know. In terms of what I would change, like, I think it's just really important, however hard you try and however many interviews you do, don't get complacent, and don't think, okay, I can answer that question easily. No problem. I've got it all down. I think it's really important to do an interview check before you go into any interview. And that was something that I struggled with. And no, not something I struggled with, but something I became complacent about. When I went into, so I did a string of interviews over the summer and I was just fed up at that point. I was so frustrated with applying to jobs and stuff. And I was like, yeah, okay, this interview will be fine. I know, I know how to answer the questions, no problem. And then I rocked up and the guy asked me, what's your greatest achievement, both academically and non-academically? And I sat there and I hadn't prepared this question. And I don't know why, because it's such a important question to prep. Like, you should know that one. That's a normal one that they ask.
One of the standard ones, yeah.
But I hadn't prepped it for some reason. And I just sat there and I was like, well, okay. And I couldn't answer him. And I was like, okay, I need to think about that. But like, so I think it's really important to just make sure you're prepped and ready and aware and you're just in the best possible footing to go and do your interviews and show your interviewers your best self. And like, you know what they always say the interviewers aren't there to catch you out. They're there to get the best from you. And that's true. But it's the same as meeting anybody new. Do you know what I mean? They don't know you at all. And you're just meeting a random person. They're asking you pretty random questions that you think are random and that you think don't really show anything. But that's basically their whole impression of you. So it's sort of like jumping through hoops and you have to jump through the hoops to end up anywhere, basically.
That's so true. I think I realized that recently. Like, I was talking to someone about the podcast and they're like, oh, so what do you talk about? I said, oh, student stuff, blah, blah, blah. And in my head, it's like, that's obvious what I'm saying. But they're looking at me because this person's in an apprenticeship. Like, what does that mean? And it really hit me. I'm like, wow, I really have to explain like what student life means in fine detail. And even though to me that was crazy, like it makes a lot of sense. And I can only imagine a podcast is one very, very small thing, but imagine extrapolating that to a whole human being applying for a job interview. It's like, how can you really show who you are, what you're about, what you're capable of in, a 1 minute answer to that question? Like, what's your greatest achievement? That isn't.
It's very true. It's true. Like, what do you answer in an interview and how do you, that's the thing as well. I don't think you should ever like, as much as I say it, don't ever bend the truth. Don't lie, but portray what you've got in the best possible way. And I think don't be afraid to very honestly say, I've never been in that position before. However, this is a position I've been in, which is similar, and then just talk about a different story instead. I think they don't expect you to be able to answer every question. And if you honestly haven't been in a position that they're asking you about, like, you shouldn't pretend that you have.
We hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want more content, be sure to check out our full episodes either here on YouTube or down below through the link in the description to find podcasts wherever you typically find your podcasts. Alternatively, in the meantime, you can follow us on social media to stay up to date between episodes. Either way, I'm happy you guys were here to join us today. I hope you enjoyed the clip. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you in the next one.
Peace.